shortly.
Yeah, dealing with everybody's network.
Correct. Correct. All right, we are live. All right,
Hey, man.
welcome back to Boss Uncaged podcast. So, to my surprise, originally I was supposed to be just interviewing Kenny. And so, me and Kenny, we go way back, and the name that I had for Kenny is the Cascading Boss. And then come to find out, in the last minute, he got the CEO of the company to show up as well too. So, without further ado, we got Kenny and we got Christopher. So, I want you guys to kind of like, we're going to talk about this in synergy. Kind of tell us a little bit about the platform that you guys are currently building and developing for the world right now. All right, welcome back to Boss Uncaged podcast. So, to my surprise, originally I was supposed to be just interviewing Kenny.
I'm here. I'm here in the review of it.
Yeah, I think that's Kenny. I had to mute you, Kenny.
So what we are, we're a cannabis company, but we're a beverage company, and more than that, we are a beverage syrup company. We're sugar-free, we're vegan, we're plant-based. We're one of the only sugar-free plant on the market. What we make is a cannabis syrup that can infuse any beverage. So my idea was that if I had to smoke alcohol, I would probably consume it a lot less. I probably would. So I figured if we can find a way to not smoke cannabis all the time, we can drink it and make it more socially acceptable. People wouldn't have to smell me all the time, wouldn't smell the cannabis on me and start judging me. And then two, I would be able to consume it in public and people wouldn't know what I'm consuming. And I think that's the big part about cannabis is we all want our little privacy, but we do want to be able to consume it publicly like alcohol. I have a lot of friends who consume alcohol and I don't consume it as much. And when I go out, I grab a Sprite or a carbonated water, add my Cannalean to it, and I have an infused cocktail just like them with no alcohol in it. So that was the whole thought process. Is when I started, got a degree in organic chemistry, and got an internship at a pharmaceutical company. So then one of the first things they taught me was making like herbal-based cough syrups. And my first idea was in herbal-based, how can I make this cannabis-based? And so I spent like 6 months doing research and finally launched it. Launched it in 2014, had a product on the market, ended up getting over here to Nevada, started working with a lot of companies doing their extract work and stuff, got with the Paiute tribe, which was huge. And then they ended up launching my product in 2019 here in Nevada. So now we're in a total of, I think, 29 shops. We've got an online store. We do CBD syrups as well, too, with different ratios. And it's funny, me and Kenny didn't meet till like 6 months ago. Like 6 months ago at a Chamber of Cannabis meeting. And in this industry, there's not too many brothers who look like us, not too many Black people. And just to see him, we sparked up a conversation and seeing how intelligent he was and how much he knew. Man, we just linked up and it got us here now.
It's definitely interesting. I mean, like when I first met Kenny, he was into construction. So like on LinkedIn, right? We had reconnected, or whatever, and I sent him a message, and I was like, all right, cool. So I was like, how did you get from construction to selling the green? And and what was your response, Kenny? Oh, we unmute you. You gotta unmute. There we go.
I mean, all right, I'm back. Talk now.
Yeah.
I got into cannabis before I worked at TC Contractor Construction. I worked in the tech incubator for 7 years, and the cannabis market and the tech startup is the exact same field. It's a really good niche brand that you're trying to bring to market to the masses. Mm-hmm. And when I talked to Chris about that, we clicked immediately when I said that. I was like, dude, you have a really, really good product. We need to get this out to the people. And that's been like our mission, working with one another, is how can we get the product to the mission? And like I said, I'm from Atlanta. We've been from Atlanta to Georgia. I mean, from Georgia to Nevada, the weed is way better out here in Nevada. And I got so much more educated on the weed. I know this between the cannabis, the sativa, what the myrcene, and all the myrcene, terpenes, all the different aspects that come into cannabis. I've gotten more knowledgeable about it. So, but at the end of the day, it's still business. So if I can get a very good product that's vegan friendly, it's healthy, there's no sugar in it, and I can get it out to people who work out, who just want to they want to enjoy marijuana, but they don't want to smoke it because don't want to smell like a blunt, like some dirty blunts walking into a business meeting. This is your answer and this is your solution. And I saw the need in the market. If I go to any dispensary in Nevada, they only care about 3 to 5 beverages, and we're one of the beverages. So that's how I got involved with it. And I was working with another company that wasted a lot more money and they didn't do it as well. So I saw what I've learned from the company that didn't do as well, and took my talents to another team. I pulled the LeBron on them. You know, I'm taking my talents to the West Coast.
It's definitely interesting because I mean, on one hand, technically, I would say like you're a bona fide scientist, right? And on the other hand, like you're an entrepreneur through and through. So like the figuring out like the left brain and right brain and the synergy between you two, I think 6 months from where you guys were to where you guys now with this partnership, have you guys grown like leaps and bounds in those last 6 months?
Oh yeah,
yeah, yeah. Because coming into it, I was my only employee. I delivered everything from top to bottom, from sales to making, labeling, every single thing from top to bottom. I was doing it. So now being able to bring somebody in who knows more about those certain topics than me, we've just grown exponentially. Where I won't have to worry about those and able to worry about other products. Now we're launching new products. We had a website up. Our website's doing great. Multiple orders every day. Like yeah. From where I've gone in the past 6 months, it's been a huge leap bringing him on the team.
And also, like we're just breaking scratching the surface in my eyes, because like I've already talked to probably the top 10 cannabis expos in the country. We're on board for 3 of them right now. Not only on board, Chris is going to be a presenter and talk about why our product is better, why we don't need cereals and when we're ingesting beverages, why sugars and like some of these products that have all these sugars bad for diabetes. We're going to not only be an exhibitor, we're going to be a lecturer on the product, and that's what's going to determine us. Like we're in the cannabis industry. There's only 5% African Americans in the state of Nevada. They're in the industry. We're 2 to 5 right here. We're part of the top 5%. So it's a good feeling to feel, and I know that we're going in the right direction in terms of revenue, and that we can also talk to investors on a level. It's like, this is what we're doing, this is where we're at. How about we're going to go to the best festivals, present our product there, and then let everyone try it out for themselves to see if it's something they want to get involved with.
It's interesting because I mean, recently I had another person on this podcast, and we were talking about like from seed to store, and then they have farmland and they're growing the hemp and they're refining it and they're drying it out. So like, where are you guys in that process? Are you guys thinking about being at scale to where you can kind of control the clones all the way up to the product, or you just more so on you want to receive the oil and then produce the product?
No, I want to be with somebody who I don't want to have to deal with the plant side of it. The plant side of it is a whole different science and a whole different level of licensing of products that I don't want to deal with. I'm a creator of products. So after it comes down from the plant, that's when I want it. That's when I want to start doing my shit.
Okay.
Can I?
Of course. Definitely. So, I mean, with that, right? I mean, as I understand, like the oil, like the manufacturing of the oil, and I know like the oil is like the real, like the big money, right? And again, you can kind of get that at wholesale. So when you guys are refining this oil, like what kind of margins are you looking like from getting the oil from a vendor, potentially buying it at wholesale and then creating the products?
So here in Nevada, we have a company called Flower One, who has the largest manufacturing facility you've ever seen in your entire life. So before I was producing product, and for me per grammage of concentrate was down to around like $10 and some change, $10.20 something. And from them, I think we're getting it for $8. So it's actually cheaper to go with a company who specializes in growing a whole bunch of one product for this production, instead of us trying to grow the product, do that process, then make the product, then bottle it, then do the sales. It allows you to take one step away from one company who's actually, but you have to have a company you trust too. And like they're a very good trusted company who their testing always comes out proper. And they're actually really good to use now. We were scared to use another company at first. I've been making it for a very long time, but it's been very consistent, great product, and it actually cut down our costs. So we went from being, our product was $20 before in stores, now it's $15.
Got it. So, I mean, you brought up a particular keyword when it comes down to like entrepreneurs, and it is being fear or being fearless, right? And again, what you talked about earlier, Kenny, was talking about being in that top 5%. And in that top 5%, there's only a handful of African Americans stepping into that space. So my next question is like, what kind of hurdles did you guys both, in let's say the last 6 months, have had to overcome to get to where you are currently?
For me, this is coming up with a good strategy. Like, I'm not a chemist. If you talk to and then just meeting Chris the very first time, he can talk leaps and bounds more than anybody about chemistry, like how the stuff is made, what all goes into it. I was just impressed. I was like, I don't do that. I'm a finance and money guy. Let's take your product and try to get it out to the masses. The thing about the masses, it's kind of hard for like African Americans if they don't have experience of how to get to the masses. Like I brought out 2 tech apps where I've displayed at South by Southwest. I've done a Revolt Music Conference. I've done BMI. I've done ASCAP. So I've been to these festivals. I've exhibited a product, and I got bought out. So we took that same exact mindset into cannabis, which, cannabis guys, some guys, they're chemists and stuff. They're not money guys. So like we just partner together and just to get this product out to masses. We need websites, we need SEO, we need these trade shows. We need him speaking as much as possible so when we go to the trade shows, they hear him speak. Guess what? They know who he is. He has a following. Now we're able to grasp the people with the money to invest or buy our product or fulfill our purchase orders. And that's going to be the fastest way to grow. Anything else is like, I don't know. We can't go like the same 5 or 6 dispensaries expecting to get more product. You have to grow into different markets. We need to go to Oklahoma, California, and West Virginia, which is our next 4 states that we're about to expand into. On the THC side, the CBD side, we're already selling online. I think we're going to make a better approaches by that. We're going to these big trade shows that people with convenience stores, people with maybe a love 7-Eleven like to come take 7-Eleven, Circle K. I hope you hear me. Come holler at your boy at Cannalean and let's give a chance to put in your store, because we have the opportunity, because Chris is a chemist. He is a manufacturer. I'm not white labeling nothing. I can just say, Chris, all right, I need you to front 50,000 units for Circle K. They're going to sign us a pay-per-click order. Done. We have that option of doing it because Chris is a manufacturer and chemist. And my job is just go make sure I find these kind of guys who are interested in these kind of deals.
It's definitely interesting hearing you speak, because I mean, obviously, I could definitely see like the synergy between both you guys are like 2 separate hemispheres coming together. So with that, right? I mean, the legal side of it, like legal side of marijuana or CBD, banking, all that shit is like still herding cats. So like, what is your business structure set up like? Is it an LLC, an S corp, a C corp?
So currently we're an LLC, dealing with but banking is, man, you hit that right on cue. It's so frustrating. It's never been more frustrating to pay somebody taxes and not allow you to have an account so they can protect you. It's just weird. They want our money but won't help us protect it. It's really weird. But no, we're currently an LLC, and what I'm trying to do is my company's gonna be franchisable. It's gonna be franchisable because we can sell the packaging. So eventually we'll just be a packaging company who's just selling packaging to other cannabis companies who can reproduce our product.
So, I mean, talking about products, I mean, you're talking about drinking it, right? And obviously,
Yes.
we've seen infused wine, we've seen infused coffee. So, like, just talk about like that product. I mean, I've seen one. I think it's like I nicknamed it the purple drink. So, like, just talk about like why did you pick the flavors that you have, and what are you using? Are they mixers? Are you drinking them straight up? Like, what's the use case analysis for the product?
Hey, now, okay, so it's a glycerin-based syrup that I make. Everything in there I make myself. Okay, the glycerin I make myself from vegetable roots. Even the flavoring I make myself. I steam distill every fruit. So all the fruits that I use are fruits I get from California. And the only 2 that aren't organic fruits are the pineapple and watermelon. Everything else is organic. And what I do is I have like a large bucket where I steam everything and I collect the steam distillation from it. Now in the steam distillation, you get like the terpenes, the flavor, but the sugar is too heavy to float up with the steam. So you get a sugar-free, all natural vegan flavoring that I can add to stuff. Now the syrup itself that I add it to, you can add that to beverages, or you could take it by itself, like a teaspoon or tablespoon, similar like you would cough syrup, except for it's not because you need to cough, it's because you want to have cannabis. That's the same concept. Or because it's water soluble, it's alcohol soluble, it's juice, lemon juice soluble, it's milk soluble. You can add it to protein shakes, your morning coffee. You can add it to, I mean, anything, smoothies, cocktails. People add it to food. It gets up to 385 degrees. So most people fry chicken at 350. So if you wanted to coach your batting, coach your chicken in this and then fry it, that medicated chicken using it. Like the versatility on it is so vast. Is why I've had people use it for pancakes, from anything you could think of. And the fact that it's sugar-free, it's vegan, it's plant-based, everything in the product is all natural. Anybody can use it. We're also keto friendly. There's no allergens in the product either. So like there's no excuse not to try or use the product. We've given a lot of people have dietary restrictions, and this literally cuts through all of that. It cuts through all allergens, dietary restrictions, everything.
So, I mean, coming from your chemistry background, and I think you brought up this keyword a couple of different times, cough syrup. So,
Yeah.
like, and I think like from the technology standpoint, and again, I don't know, so I'm asking this question: are there similarities between the cough syrup and what you're creating?
So most times people realize the cough syrup, the only thing that's negative with it is the cough suppressants and the other stuff they add to it. Like the actual base of most cough syrups is sugar-free, vegan, it's plant-based. But it's just once you start adding in these other chemically made or man-made products into it and stuff like that, that's when you change the whole process of it. But if you just took that same base right there, that base, that cough syrup base, that's why you see people put stuff, cough syrup in like Sprite and stuff like that, because it's a water soluble, it's a natural thing, but inside of that are negative cough suppressants. I've taken all those out and just used that natural base to add cannabis into it.
Gotcha. So I mean, yeah, but your chemistry background makes sense. You just substitute molecules for other molecules and replace them.
That's it.
The blockchain. Gotcha.
That's totally it. Yeah.
Huh.
It's not that dirty Sprite. It's more like a healthier, cleaner Sprite.
Yeah, that's the concept. Because we had a lot of people who saw like lean. Initially, I made the product Cannalean because it was lean. It was sugar-free, vegan. It was a healthy product. But then we got the lean base because it was syrup. And then we started to realize that both sides of the spectrum are right. Neither of them are wrong. Because a lot of people who do lean who want to kind of get off of it. And this is such a great substitute because it is similar to it. But then people who also want to be on the lean factor, who want to be healthy, you add it to pre-workouts, to protein shakes. I mean, we even have an energy drink launching, it's an all natural energy drink. Just every aspect of it is healthy. And that's what we're really pushing on it.
Gotcha. So, I mean, being that you guys are like opposites and like magnets and attracting each other, and you got this system working and you're running it, right? Like, would you say it's difficult running a business as a partnership like you guys have currently right now?
Actually, for how it's been going, it's been much easier. Kenny's, I haven't let anybody in my business yet besides my brother, who pretty much helped me do a lot of my marketing and stuff. But I'm very, this is my baby. I'm very, very picky about this. And man, he's been nothing but really great help. When you have somebody who, I'm busy as shit. I'm very busy. And when he'll call me, he needs info. And I'm telling you, he'll call me 15 seconds, gets his info, and then he's out. Call me, get another 2 hours later, 15 second info, and he's out. And I'm like, that's perfect for me. And like, I didn't have to tell him that. I didn't have to inform him about that. So from what it's been a partnership, for what it's been so far, it's been much easier than doing this shit by myself. I can say it on my end.
I've learned a long time ago. There's no reason to have a conversation for more than 4 minutes. It's just I've always been like that. Just tell me what you want and get onto it, and I'll do it, and then I'll call you back after I'm done with it. Because it shouldn't take that long. This is always a good business process. Business thing I've always picked up over the years. Working with Chris, like I say, I know he knows this thing is chemistry. I'm not going to come to the lab. I still haven't been to the lab. I'm not interested in going to the lab. Let's take some pictures and put it on Instagram. But I'm not really interested in going to the lab. My thing is like, I need to get out the product. Getting the product out to market is not involves me being in the lab. It's being on the phone with people like you, being on talking to other manufacturers, and talking to other distributors and conference organizers. Like I said, my biggest thing is like, let's get the product out to market. Let's get it out. Let's get the name out there. So you're in Georgia, we're in Nevada. They hear Cannalean, so I know Cannalean. That's Kenny and Chris. Those are Cannalean boys, and I like that. That's like the biggest thing. Chris is a great guy to work with because he's a way nicer person than me. Like I'm kind of a hard ass. I'm kind of an asshole. But at the end of the day, I'm really my asshole because I don't lie to no one. I tell everybody this is what we need to do. This is how we do it. And either I'm gonna do it or not. I mean, and that's the best part. Chris doesn't blow smoke with my ass. So like so far, great partnership together. We work out very well. And like I said, we respect each other's territory. I don't come in. You're never gonna see me come into a lab trying to tell him what to do. He's not gonna tell me like the balance sheet, what a balance sheet looks like. So we're just
nope.
Nice. So I mean, you're a big system guy, and I'm talking to Kenny here. Like, so in the cannabis field, like, what kind of SOPs do you guys currently have, or are you currently developing those SOPs out now?
So I have SOPs for every single one of my products. I've been prepared for this for like 4 years now because I knew that I didn't have the money everybody else had. I didn't have the money to keep building new facilities. I knew if I got into one and I made SOPs, I can launch with other companies and show them how to make my product and then collect percentages down the road. So I've had this ready to go for a long time right now. That's why we have 3 companies in California, West Virginia, and Oklahoma work with currently that we're going to launch in the next year there, that they're just going to be able to produce there. I'm going to be able to go down, set it up, show the process, have SOPs, and they can just take it over from there. And that's our process. That's why we'll be able to expand to so many states faster than everybody else because we don't need to set up a whole facility there. We work with people who already have facilities. We take up around 200. around 250 square feet of their space. That's it. With most facilities have way more space than that to give up. And in that space, you can produce around 50,000 bottles a month of our product.
Got it. So that leads me to like something we talked about earlier on. You was talking about franchising, right? So with your franchising model, are you essentially selling the branding for the bottles? Are you selling the formula and the product itself? Like, what are you franchising exactly?
All of it.
Okay. Okay.
The brand, the SOPs for it, the product, because we have more products launching. So people will be able to franchise. If you want to franchise just one product, if you want to franchise all, it's a lot coming. It's a lot coming right now because my process is to take over the drink market. I make drinks better than everybody else and I know it. So if I get to the point in the process where I can have a bottling machine to make, we can do sodas, we can do juices, I can do coffees, teas, I can do kombuchas, I can do everything down the line that you could ever think of. Energy drinks, pre-workouts, protein shakes, smoothies, infused milk, we can do chocolate milks. I mean, everything from under the sun we can do. So at that point, I can franchise out every single one of those products, or they can franchise out the brand and then run all those products from their state if they have a large enough facility to do it.
I mean, just hearing you speak, like the first thing that popped into my mind and is just 100% conceptual. I don't know if it's legally possible, but like vending machines with like
I'm already in the man. If I could tell you more detail, I would, but I'm already in the process. We're working with a company who is going to who's already substantially situated in other states doing CBD ones. And once they get the process to go, our product fits into their machine. We already have labels to go inside of them with every single one of it. That's the future of what we're looking at.
Nice. Yeah. I could definitely, within the right state, within the right legal limits of the law, whatever, you could have those suckers pop up left and right anywhere. And it's kind of like an overnight pop up versus having to build out a full construction or build out a storefront. So,
and that's the idea. So once one person gets comfortable with it and the state gets comfortable, then the next state will, and it'll eventually expand itself. So you just got to find one state to work with at a time and then go from there.
Nice. So, I mean, anyone that's listening to this podcast right now, I mean, obviously your energy for both you guys are off through the roof. They can kind of feel the synergy going on and like the perception of you guys being an overnight success. I mean, you talked about bringing Kenny on 6 months ago, but in reality, how long have you been on the journey to get to where you are currently?
11 years, I would say. 8 years I've had the company, 11 years I've been in the industry. Solid in the industry. I've been the chemist for a company in Riverside, talking about doing almost, they're doing like $50,000-$60,000 a day. And I was their sole chemist doing extractions for them before anybody was really doing extractions, making product on the market. And from that point till then, learning all that knowledge, getting to this point, it's been about 11 years.
11 years. So let's just say, right, the multiverse is real, time travel is real. If you can go back anywhere in the past decade and talk to yourself for, let's say, 1 hour, you have a 1 hour block to go back. When would you go back to, and what would you say to yourself to kind of help expedite where you are to make it happen a lot faster?
Oh man, 2014. 2014, I would look myself in the face and tell myself that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay. You don't have to do this all by yourself. Asking for help doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're not a strong person. It doesn't make you a bitch. It's not any of that. Everybody needs help. Ask for help. It's okay. People are going to tell you no. That doesn't mean they're bad people. It doesn't mean you're doing the wrong thing. It's just part of fucking business. It's okay. Ask for help, and you're going to get it. Just keep asking for help. It's okay.
Yeah, mine's going back to 2003 and buying all the stock in Google. See, I went to Stanford with one of those guys. He was talking about this Google thing is about to be, man, I could have been paid and set up. But in the cannabis field, I wish I had left Georgia or expanded more over to like California, Nevada, the West Coast, just to know more about cannabis. I'm so much more educated about like the different types of cannabis, what goes into cannabis, and what's good weed, what's bad weed. Because like what I know over here and what we have in Atlanta is completely different. And then the fact that I'm knowing so much now, when it does expand, I know I could bring it to market very quick, or any of these other states, because I'm that much more knowledgeable about it. So if my old self to tell the future Kenny, go spend more time learning about cannabis so you can bring that knowledge back over to Georgia and the South.
So it sounds like, and I'm being facetious when I say this, right? It sounds like Atlanta has like oregano and California is Fruitopia, and that's like the comparison that I'm getting from you.
Yeah, it's the reject weed. We got all the reject. I mean, there's some good weed in Georgia, but you got a guy fucking the guy. You have to have like a specific dealer. You really don't know what he's putting on it, and it's not regulated out here. Everything's pretty regulated, but not only regulated, you can find the guys with crazy exotic stuff too, because that's what they know. They're like 20 years in the game. He's 11 years in the game. There's 20 years in the game. Growing weed where Georgia's still like no one really can do it legally, so they're hiding it and making it in some random grow houses. It's not like it's being tested. Like anything that he makes, even Chris makes, has to get tested and he has to submit it to the state. I mean, we don't do that in Georgia. We don't know where I don't know where weed man gets his weed from. I never asked that question.
Yeah, very true, very true. So I want to talk about both of you guys. I mean, obviously you guys are so different and unique in your own ways. Like, what is your upbringing like? I mean, do both of you guys come from entrepreneurial backgrounds? Was it an aunt, uncle, a dad, a mom that kind of helped instill that in y'all to become what you are right now?
Kenny, I'll let you take this one first.
Oh, so my mom, so I started with my mom. My mom's a apparel designer. She makes like women's like wedding gowns and stuff. So I grew up in a house, always having women in my house was always a good thing. So I grew up in a house where mom's sewing for women. So I knew that I probably had to grow up wanting to be work for myself. And also I had an uncle. After my dad died, he was an entrepreneur too. He started like a pro-line hair products with my other uncle. My dad took a buyout early. He was kind of a serial on a Church's Chicken franchise, but then he died when I was like 11 or 12. And I have an uncle, Uncle Melvin. He was a lawyer, and I probably learned more from him than anybody. Uncle Melvin was a defense attorney, member of Congressional Black, worked with the Congressional Black Caucus, NAACP. So working with him, seeing all these other Black entrepreneurs, like I'm in the Remember 100 Black Men right now in Vegas. He was the one in Atlanta, and seeing all these Black businessmen making money. They got nice houses. Their wives is fine. They got Bentleys, Porsches, Jaguars in the garage. I saw that's like that's what I want to be. I need to do that. And I learned my freshman year at Morehouse College, no one's going to pay me $150,000 when I'm 18 years old. So it's up to me to make that kind of money. No one's just going to give it to me. So I've always found a way to make some money. And I always educated myself. I got got to have some skills for people to pay you, and you got to be consistent. I can say like the best thing I learned about with that kind of thing is I had consistency growing up with my mom. After she finally sold her house after 47 straight years living in the house, it was consistent. Like I always had consistency with that. So I think that's why it made me be a great entrepreneurship. A great entrepreneur is that I grew up around it. I was raised around it, and their friends exposed me to other entrepreneurs which I can always guide on or rely on if I need, advice, information. Like I tell everybody, I know all about stuff like EIN, Secretary of State, getting compliant, business license, taxes. I learned that like at 16 years old. If you don't have that kind of stuff, you're not a business. You're just a guy, you're a hustler.
And what's your response to that, Chris?
Honestly, I never really none of my family really was like entrepreneurs and anything like that. I had a close friend who I looked up to. The same person, the reason I got dreads. He was a family friend, but he was an athlete. When I was an athlete growing up, and he said everything I wanted to be in a person. And so like when he grew up, he went to Boise State. He ended up getting to the NFL for like a year or two, and then ended up getting open up a barbershop, open up a smoothie store, just started opening up stores and stuff like that. And that was my first time ever seeing anyone who owned a business and could like open up a store and like owned it. We were there on days off and like nobody was there and stuff like that, and just doing stuff and like seeing someone be able to own a building, like own some shit, yo. Like it was a weird factor. My family never really had money. We rented everything. We always lived in apartments, and 5 of us inside of a 2-bedroom apartment, shit like that. That never was an idea. Like I never owned some shit. Like nigga, I got the keys to this door. When I want to say it's closed, it's closed. Like it was his fucking business. And like to watch him build it, and like when I think I was 22, he sold them all. And now he's a football coach in California, just retired, got a house out there, and just lives a life that I would like. Man, I'll tell you, it was like he was one of the people who like lived that ideal life that I wanted. If he wouldn't have done a business, I don't think I would be in this business, honestly.
Very interesting. I mean, I'm just hearing that it's kind of like this. You guys are so uniquely different from each other. It was like, usually you kind of get into these kind of conversations and there's some synergy. They're bipolar opposites, but like the similarities in the stories. But you guys' background, like your education, like your philosophies, your theories, everything is completely opposite from each other. So I mean, I could definitely see how like you two coming together, I think you guys needed to find each other, obviously, because without each other, you'd have been missing that other half. You'd have missing this key component.
I'll tell anybody. I don't know how to make nothing in a chemistry lab. I'm not trying to go to a chemistry lab unless I'm taking some pictures and I put it on Instagram. But that let Chris handle it.
and he knows that I hate talking about money. Like I hate that shit. I hate money. I hate that that's a conversation that I'm talking about healing people and trying to heal the world, and money has to be a conversation. So that's why I'm so glad to have him there, because he deals with those conversations. I don't like that. I can't carrying money on myself. Like I think it's one of the worst things we ever created, but it's part of life and it's part of this world, especially it's part of business. And he's really money oriented. Like you hear the question to answer. His first thought was, I should put money back in Google back then. The money, like that's the mentality that I need from somebody else, because I don't have that mentality. I don't have that immediate need to make money mentality. But for me to expand this business and to help the people I want to help, I have to have money. So man, it's definitely opposites. Opposites do attract.
Yeah. So there's another bipolar question for you, and again, I have no idea what your answer is going to be. This could be the determining factor for some synergy, right? What do your morning habits, your morning rituals look like?
I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I get up like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. Either I'm gonna go to yoga, smoke weed, or start reading a book. I mean, no one's up. My girlfriend's asleep. My dog is. They'll let the dog out because he'll start waking everybody up. But I'm up really early in the morning. I typically go to the gym or do yoga. But I smoke. I smoke in the morning. I sit by my pool. It's starting to warm up again, so I'll sit by my pool and just smoke a joint on my patio by myself.
Gosh damn, man, we're not gonna have any of these at match. That's crazy. So I wake up at like 6. My first 2 hours are like my zen, and my way of creating zen is really weird. It's not like most people do. I play video games, man. I will put on my headphones and I won't talk to anybody. I will ignore calls, and then at 8 o'clock I can get to stuff. I would go work out, I'll do at least an hour or two in the gym, and then I'll get have business. It's 12 hours from there that I'll be stuck either in the laboratory doing stuff, or most of the time it's in the laboratory, honestly. I'll take calls and answer emails from there and stuff like that, but I'm in there all day. But usually when I wake up, like my first time is just I'll hop on some video games, knock everybody out in this world, and just like get my little zen moment in.
It's crazy interesting, man. So talking about like morning routines, and Kenny, you alluded to being, you read. So like my next question is, like, both of you guys obviously have different journeys that ended up and you cross paths and you are where you are right now. But what books helped either one of you or individually helped you on your journey to get you where you are currently?
Man. I should know this. Let me go look at it.
I can make this real quick. I've never finished a book from beginning to end, and I've laughed every time that people always bring up books. I've never read a book from beginning to end in my entire life.
Man, I got a lot of books. I got a lot of books. I got like 100 books in my house. So I'm gonna start with the ISIS papers. That book changed my life. The autobiography of Malcolm X has made me Pimp by Iceberg Slim. I take that back. Pimp by Iceberg Slim changed my life. It explained to me like what type of people you can either be the pimp or you're going to be hoe. Which one are you going to be? You're only going to be one of the two. And I realized from them, I am no one's fucking hoe, and I got to get the money myself. Because that's how I learned it. It was Pimp by Iceberg Slim. Very good book. I read it out when I was 17 years old. Book changed my life. And so is the ISIS paper, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. It showed to me, like, as an African American, that you got to embrace being an African American. And if you're going to embrace it, you can actually succeed about it. Because, like, you're going to be treated differently. But if you know how to treat yourself differently, like I said, all of us have all experienced some type of racism in the business as being professionals in some type of form or way. And for me, I learned it because I got into like some crazy shit growing up, like from high school and in my professional career, where that kind of book I always go back to, like, they just different. So it is what it is. Another book for me has been the book I'm reading now is Attributes. What's a five? Let me find it. Rich Devaney. I got another book right here. Rich Devaney is the new book I got. We have a 1-star general, General Andre Berry. He's over the National Guard for Nevada, for the state of Nevada. Member of the 100 Black Man. He told me to read this book. So far it's been good. It says 25 hidden drivers for optimal performance. Like I say, I'm a guy that reads because, like, I just want to know, like, how to, like, especially managing people. I've managed people over the years. I always been someone you can come and talk to me, ask about any question, but I also gotta be like, or if I tell you to do something, do it correctly. And you gotta lead by example. So I've always felt like you need to read a book for me, I don't know the answer, so I just read a book, and then the book tells me something, I'll try it out. If it fits into my work schedule, my workflow, I like it. If it don't, it doesn't.
It's crazy. I'm just sitting here listening to both your answers, and again, like I'm still searching for the overlap, right? So like, let's just go to this next question. Where do you guys? Because right now you guys hit the crossroad, you've overlapped, you guys are on the same path right now. Where do you see yourselves 20 years, or the company 20 years from now?
Oakland bought us out.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with him 200%. There we go.
Yeah, someone's buying us out. We haven't been bought out. He's somewhere on a beach.
In 20 years, Coke or Pepsi will have bought us out, and I'll be on the beach somewhere. That's the problem. With no shoes on for the rest of my life, even though I don't wear shoes now. But still, no shoes on rest of my life. Beach.
Yeah, it's all for corporate. We're going to be bought out by somebody, or Red Bull, or if you're Red Bull, Coca-Cola, Gatorade, if you listen to us, we're for sale.
We are for sale. I'll let us.
Well, I think it's funny because, I mean, Chris, like, obviously this has been your passion, and you've been very passionate about it, and the fact that you wake up and you go into the lab every single day and you're constantly refining your craft. But the commonalities between you guys is to, essentially sell this product. So you already have an exit strategy in mind. So did you start the company with the exit strategy in mind, or was that something that came over a period of time?
No, that's something me and him sit down discussing often. Because honestly, I've always been told that the two problems in this world are knowing what you want and not knowing how to get it, and then just not knowing what the fuck you want. And I just didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know, because I knew I was going to help people. This product is going to help people, but it doesn't need me to be behind it all the time to help people. Like, I made a great product and I'm making great ideas, but if I get those products out to other people who have way more money than me, who can really get that to the masses, that's the idea of it. The idea is to get it to as many people as possible to help people. It's whether I do it myself, it's kind of out of the question at this point. If I really want to help people, I have to do it at whatever thing it costs me. If it costs me to sell this company to somebody who's going to take this product and then give it out to everybody across the world, then that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take. And we kind of sat down and came to that conclusion. And that's honestly the goal. I make great products and I make really healthy things that can really help people. And if I can find someone who can take that and multiply it and give it to everybody across the country and across the world, that's all I could ask for.
So I think another commonality between both of you guys, it's not. Your goal is that you want to help people and you like creating products. And Kenny, he likes to monetize products and get products out to the masses as fast as possible. So to ad-lib your 20 years, I could totally see in 20 years, you'll sell this company. Like, that goes hands down. But I don't think this is going to be the last venture that you guys are probably going to work on. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, no, not at all. Because I realized to help people, it takes money. And he's somebody who knows money really well. And I have a lot of ideas on how to help people create products that are really great, not just sellable products, but are great products in general. So if we could put that together, like, that's, I don't see things going wrong. It's been going great since. We have great compatibility when it comes to, even though I'm realizing right now we don't have anything like same things in common, but our commonality is the fact that he believes in this company the same way I do. Yeah. And he can use his abilities, I use mine. And when we get to the point, hell yeah, second venture, I'd love to bring him on too. But yeah.
And also, he's breaking the golden rule too, right?
Yeah, we like I said, the good thing about any relationship is you gotta know your place. You stay over there, I stay over here. We meet in the middle and break bread. That's how this always been with me with any business that I've been in. I might not know how to do it, but if you're an expert and a master at your craft, and I see the point of, like, you can get money in it, I want to be down for that. Be down for the cause. Like, I've had friends. I got a friend named Tope. I don't know if you know Tope. Tope owns Cannalean. I met Tope when I was in the tech incubator at Atlanta Tech Village. Tope met him. He had a small desk, like I had a desk. Next thing you know, he has an office. Next thing you know, he has a whole floor. Next thing you know, his business is too big. They got moved to a different building. Tope's valuation of his company is $2 billion. And the fact I met him when he was just a guy like me, just sitting on the desk right in front of me, it's like, it's also inspirational, because, like, I'm not a hater kind of guy. It's like, damn, if he did it, I should do it. Let me try to figure out a product and do it. He took a product, able to scale it, and took it to market. I need to be able to do this, and I feel like I could do the same thing. And that's how I like. And this time, it's not a tech venture. It's definitely a product venture. But if you use those same type of things that I was learning, I was taught that I did before, we can definitely get the money. Like I said, because like at the end of the day, his product is better than everyone else. Like there's, I just did on the pitch deck. We got sip. Sip has a whole bunch of sugar in it. We have cans low dose, and still has sugar in it. I forgot the third one. This is wild. Wild had sugar and it has seed oil in it. So you're talking about all these other products that are bigger than us, yet they have significant like health issues where they're not really a healthy product. We can really promote ourselves as a healthy product where we don't have any of these impurities in them. And that's what's going to distinguish the two. At the end of the day, if I get my product on the whole field, it's a wrap. I'm done because we're actually a health-based product, and that's the CBD part, and that's only CBD part. As we expand into different markets, we're like with California, West Virginia, Oklahoma on the cannabis markets. Right now, I think there are 33 states that are legal with marijuana. Once it goes federal, or more and more states we can get in the state. That's another $100,000 per store. Because that's how I look at it. If each store can bring me 100,000, I'm in 1,100 stores. We did a very good year that year, and that's how about scalability about. So that's my spill on that.
Yeah, and I'm listening to you. I mean, you're speaking my language now. So like the marketing strategy, and you're talking about like your avatar. And then if I go back the past 40 minutes, and I can kind of piece together these puzzle pieces. You're talking about vegan, right? You're talking about low sugar, low calorie. You're talking about health. You mentioned that you like yoga. He also mentioned that he would probably be on a beach. So collectively taking all that data, like who is your ideal avatar today, and who are you planning on reaching to with the diversification tomorrow?
Soccer moms, hands down, soccer moms. I like here's the thing about if you can get into the soccer mom market, because when I work with Global Pain for Charity. It's nonprofit. I've been a member for like at least 12 years now. I did a yoga festival with them with my friend Ashley Sapp, and I sat there and I was on 300 women. They paid all $150 to be a part of a yoga session, and that was by far my nonprofits. They were just sitting there just collecting donations. I've never made as much money as I made at this yoga retreat for a nonprofit than any of my other events. I've done all type of trade shows. So I said the soccer mom market, they pay to look for themselves. They want to be in shape. They're the ones going to the gym. The yoga and the healthy women market is also influences the guys who go to the gym, because the guys go to the gym, they want to be in shape. Guys will pay great money to be in shape. So the health, the wellness, that's where you want to be in. You want to be in Whole Foods. The Whole Foods, the same thing I could buy at Kroger or Smith's for $5. Whole Foods is selling me for $15 with a straight face. It is what it is. So like I need to get myself in the health and wellness market, because when you're health and wellness, you're not using this just like let's say Red Bull. Red Bull is like one of these things that you take to go out and party and have a good time. But if it becomes like a supplement, that's something that you need every day to live, or you feel like it's a part of your lifestyle, you're gonna buy it every day. It becomes it's like you buying chicken. It's gonna happen every day. That's where you want to go into. We're not trying to go into like the straight cannabis thing. We want to be in the wealth and lifestyle. You need this to go to sleep. You need this to reduce your anxiety. You need this to like make yourself feel better after you work out. And these are just things that I've experienced from taking the product, but also see like I've seen that market share. I see these women spend on it. They spend $150 for a yoga set. That costs $5 to make. They spend money on like celery juice. My girlfriend bought some damn celery juice the other day. I was like, you paid $7 for a bottle of celery juice? It was this fucking small. I'm like, whatever.
I think it's definitely interesting because I mean, part of like your branding and labeling. I think one of your products is called Plain Jane, and essentially what you're describing is part of that, like that product branding in its entirety. Like you're talking about Jane herself. So do you guys have like a board somewhere where you have like the ideal name of that avatar listed anywhere?
He does.
Oh, an avatar. Hold on, wait. We got on the avatars now?
Yeah. So who's your avatar? What's her name?
I don't have an avatar. Maybe I'm mistaken. Are we talking like NFT avatars here? Or are we talking just like
who's your target buyer of your product?
Oh, okay, man.
I've never
heard that term avatar, but that's awesome. Oh yeah, I'm a lab nerd. So our target audience is pretty much like health and wellness people. So anybody who's going to go to say your vitamin store, your vitamin supply, any health and wellness store, anybody who's looking for sleep aid, energy, anybody who wants a natural product or natural mood enhancement. We don't realize how important sleep is. Like sleep is one of the most important things that affects everything in your body. You know, from your anxiety to the way you eat to the way you think throughout the day. And for a natural product that help you sleep that's not addictive, that can truly help you go to sleep and help you not just fall asleep, but stay asleep. Most people wake up throughout the night and have problems with that who can, you know, smoke a joint and it'll knock you out, but knocking you out isn't the point. You need to be able to stay asleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's definitely humorous that you brought up like NFT avatars, and again, you're a gamer as well too. So that kind of leads me to like a impromptu question that's not necessarily in the marijuana space, but have you guys looked into like NFTs or creating an NFT product to kind of boost the awareness of
Man,
selling?
Kenny put me on this guy who's been bugging us nonstop about getting Cannalean in the metaverse and having NFT. I don't know anything about it, but man, his idea sounds so good because he messages all the time about it. But man,
I have a really good friend, Afani. He's a great guy, marketing genius. Works with a lot of like rappers and stuff, and I love his I seen this with Cannalean. Like I saw this with Cannalean, and then he came to Vegas. He met Chris, and then he's like, he's like one of our biggest supporters of it. But he's right. He's trying to let's do this avatar. Let's put this in the metaverse. We are moving forward towards that. Because at the end of the day, I want to stay hip to the culture. I don't want to fall behind. If it works, I might not know about it, but you know what? Screw it. You want to put it over there? All you can do is try to make me some money. At the end of the day, it's marketing. It's all about marketing. And they, you know, if your son sees an Oculus, oh, Dad, I see a, little Sonal. I saw this Cannalean guy you were talking to the other day. Guess what? That's more money for me coming in.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. You gotta be like a marketing like, you know, terrorist. Like what's my man said from the Wolf of Wall Street? You gotta be a marketing terrorist, bro. That's how you get successful everywhere. Doesn't matter where it's at.
Definitely. So I mean, this leads me to like a dual part question for both of you guys. Like, if you have an opportunity to talk to someone that's younger than you that may be hearing this and seeing that, okay, one, I could be a scientist, I could be a chemist. The other side, I could be a business person, I could be an entrepreneur, and I could work in both environments and create this huge company. What words of wisdom or words of insight would you want to tell that person to help motivate them to stay on track and stay focused and continue to grow?
Ooh, Kenny, I'll let you go first on that one.
My thing would be patient. You don't know everything. Take good notes. See like how you work with someone. Like so before in November, I took a job working with a big construction company, and it was just a terrible fit. Like the the owner was gone. I was dealing with this Karen chick, and it just ended bad. And during this time, like I graduated from college, I got accepted to my master's program. I've won all these accolades, and no matter what you said, she says you're a bad person. And if I sat there and thought about it, because she told me, well, I think you need to stay in this position, and I'm gonna demote you, and you need to stay in this position. You need to stay in that position forever. You can't listen to people like that. If I listen to her, I'd still be sitting there working 60 hours a week, sad as hell. But guess what? I'm a boss. I'm an uncaged boss at that. I told her go fuck herself, and like I quit. Because like at the end of the day, I make more money than you. Like at the end of the day, I make more money than you, and I can say it very, very calmly, or I can be very arrogant about it. I would say like as a young kid, stand for yourself, be confident. Whatever you think you don't know, ask. But I would definitely say don't be rattled by what the peanut gallery has to say. You're your own person. If you know your product, if you're confident about it, I will believe in you. And that's the biggest thing. Confidence is everything. If you don't know something, people will help you. Like I said, I'm the biggest testament of people helping me. I've gotten in trouble. I've gotten into colleges. I've gotten jobs, all because of connections and people that believe in me. So like, if I can help Luke, like, you know, I'm a member of 100 Black Men. My biggest thing, I want Black males to go to college. I want them to go to military. I want them to go to trade school. If It's either one of those three. Doing nothing is it's unacceptable in my eyes. So that's what I'm about. I'm on how can I help you get you there? Because like I'm saying, I might not know what you want to do, but I can get you one of these three doors, and I can help you get there if you got the confidence, if you got the self-belief in yourself. Because so many people got mental health issues that they're not confident in themselves. It drives me insane and sad that I feel like these younger kids are committing suicide, they're depressed all the time. It's like, why are you depressed? Like, how can I help out? I don't want anything bad to happen to them. I really want to see this young Black man succeed in life, because like I was given the opportunity by a Black man to go to college, to start my own business, to intern. That's how I got in real estate. I intern with him, even like working with OC. I learned so much from OC. I owe a great deal of my life to OC. He helped me out in a very tough situation, but he gave me the opportunity to learn, fine-tune my craft in construction, where I could build a mansion too. I could build a grocery store. I could build anything. I learned that from him. And that's because of the African American. He said, that's a young Black guy. I need to help him out. That was my own son. We have to do that. We have to uplift our own people up, and we have to people like other people that are different than us too. But we have to try to uplift our own people first and foremost. I can't stress that enough.
I think you definitely dropped a lot of information, a lot of nuggets in your response, and it kind of talks a testament to who you are. But on the other side of the coin, I could put money in it. I'm sure, Chris, your answer is going to be completely different than his.
All right, now give me the question one more time so I can come refresh like Kenny was. Give it to me.
So, if you have an opportunity to talk to someone that's younger than you are, that's hearing this and seeing that, he could be or she could be a chemist, or she or he can be an entrepreneur or a leader like Kenny is, what words of wisdom would you want to tell them to help them to stay motivated on the journey to continue to grow forward?
Man, I would tell them to grab their phone, go to YouTube, and type in a man named Les Brown. There's a man named Les Brown who I'm telling you, as a young Black man who I didn't have, even as a man, I didn't have that person in my family who'd been like that idolized person to look up to. And to hear somebody who could speak to me and give me the confidence to talk about things. And like most times I would hear it and it'd be like in a churchy way, which kind of turned me off. I wasn't that kind of person. But to hear somebody speak in that aspect and didn't have to bring religion into it and use actual things and telling you how possible things are and telling you about his own life, how he failed, and just to hear about somebody else's failure and then their succession, and to not just to hear it and then be able to Google it and then be able to realize that he was telling true stories and real factual things. Man, it changed my life. So if you're somebody who doesn't have that and you need someone to see who does that, YouTube Les Brown and watch you some videos. And that's the best thing I could say to you, because everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey is going to be totally freaking different. Your journey could be to work for somebody. Like my journey was to own my own shit and do it that way. But like, I would really say that's the best thing I could tell anybody is to either find somebody who has that motivational voice to you, and like, don't be afraid to listen to them. Other people have lived different lives and different experiences that can help you with your own life, and you have vice versa, but don't be afraid to listen to people. Don't be afraid to listen to somebody else and take their advice.
Wow.
I got another book too. It's Think and Grow Rich. I read that book. Sir. I was sitting in a jail cell. I read Think and Grow Rich, and I promised myself, there's a chapter, I think it's the third chapter, called Desire. And I told myself, if I get out this fucking situation, I'm going to make a change, and there's nothing in the world is going to stop me, because I got the desire to be successful. I got the motivation to conquer anything. I'm not going to tell someone, oh, just because you got in trouble, you're not going to be able to do nothing. Fuck all that. I would tell I think that should be a standard book in any child's reading, is to read Think and Grow Rich. It's a great book, and especially I like the chapter Desire, because like that was probably the most impactful chapter of my life. I've read something. It talks about it. It talks about what makes himself. Chris is motivated because his desire of his product, his desire to succeed. I'm motivated because like I think I'm the best. I think I can do more, and I'm not going to accept anything less. Like, and that's what motivates me. I don't want just one house. I want 5 houses. I just don't want one car. I want 10 cars. I want to own a dealership. Like, let's just take it up. And it's the desire and the single mind is like, I need this, I have to have this. That's what's going to make you motivate. That's what's going to motivate people, and especially the youth. That's going to motivate them.
Yeah. I mean, that book is I think I've interviewed by 250 people at this point in time, and that book has come up at least 10%. Like literally, like 10% of the people have brought that book up. So it's a book. If you haven't read it, definitely read it. And it's one of those books that you don't read once. You have to read, I would say, at least every year or so to kind of get the value where you are at that time in your life. So going into like the marketing spot for what you guys do and for where you guys are, like how do people get in contact with you? How do they, order products? Like what's your website, social media? Like what's your handles?
So our website is CannaleanSyrup.com. Once again, that's CannaleanSyrup.com. And also Cannalean Syrup is our Instagram. So if you need to find us on social media, you can find us there. I'm the owner. I answer all the pages. You message, I will answer. You video chat, I'll answer. I'm that person. If you want to find us, if you want to email us, you can email us at CannaleanLLC.com, or you can email us at info@CannaleanSyrup.com. We have you can find me on Instagram as well at Cannalean Syrup. Yeah, we already said that. Yeah, and then you got Kenny.
I'm at Kenny Cottrell, KennyCottrell. If you Google me, I'll pop up. I'm on like everywhere. But like you want Cannalean info at CannaleanSyrup.com, Cannalean Syrup at Cannalean Syrup, Twitter, Instagram, Twitter. We're everywhere. Want to call me 404-906-2270. I accept all phone calls. I got a couple of collect phone calls come from me the other day. So like I accept everything, and like I said, we are about making it happen and being, like I said, being on shows like this, other podcasts. We're trying to get our brand, our awareness out here. We spread the word. Like we're all about the Cannalean.
Nice. I think it's crazy, man. I'm happy that Chris had an opportunity to come on here because I think the episode would have been great, but I think having the push and pull between both y'all made this episode 10 times better than it ever could have been. So I got a couple bonus questions for you guys before we close out, right? And this is like my signature bonus question, and I want both of you to answer it independently of each other. If you could spend 24 hours with anyone, dead or alive, uninterrupted for those 24 hours, who would it be and why?
Dave Chappelle.
I want to hear the punchline. Why?
Oh, that's the funniest man I've ever seen in my entire life. And there's nothing I like more than laughing. I think it's the purest, happiest way to cure your soul. Just the vibrations when you laugh, your body, there's something about it just heals yourself. And that man, I'm telling you, when he speaks, I've watched him just pop up and just talk, and I'm telling you, I just start laughing. So to spend 24 hours with a man who can make me laugh the entire time, yeah, I would. That'd be it. That'd be the one. That'd be the one.
Kenny?
Mine would be my Uncle Melvin. So I got an uncle, Melvin Robinson, as a lawyer. I mentioned him a couple times before. So he was really influential in my life, especially when I became an adult, like a young adult, being an entrepreneur. Actually bought a couple of properties with him before. He introduced me to Congressional Black Caucus. I actually became a delegate for the state of Georgia for the alternate delegate that cast the ballot for Barack Obama in his first term for the state of Georgia. And just talking to me as an adult, I mean, because of my court cases in the past and now as going back to school, in graduate school, and running successful businesses, it was just like just to have a day with him. It was like, yo, this is what I'm doing. He gave me so much insight. Like he was the lawyer for Magic City Strip Club. He was the lawyer for he was. Like I know the whole family very well. He just gave me a lot of information. Like he put a lot of energy into me to like go into politics, go into business. And I think that I just want to show him what I did. Honestly, I would just like to show him like, yo, this is what I'm doing right now. This is how you like. I know you might not smoke the weed with me, but I got it in a infused bottle. You want to drink it with me? I mean, I can bring the candle. I would show up in his office. I would definitely show up in his office with Cannalean, like, oh, we got to try this product out. And he would sit there and laugh, try it, and get high, and then we have to worry about not telling his wife about it. But I would definitely pay millions of dollars to hang out with my uncle for one day, without a doubt. Like he was very influential in my life.
That's definitely interesting.
Man, we give opposite answers. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Across the board, man. Across
Yeah, that's
the board.
crazy.
It's beautiful though. I mean, when it comes down to like having a business, like where you're weak, he's strong, and where he's weak, you're strong. So I mean, together you guys are whole, which is a great thing to have. So going into my last bonus question, and obviously branding, I love branding, and I'm just looking at your brand, and I love your brand, and I just want to kind of talk about the logo for a minute. And this is like my interpretation. What I see is a negative contour shape of the marijuana leaf embossed or infused on top of a droplet. And that's the finished product. So I want you to kind of tell us a little bit more about like the story. Like how did you come up with that logo? Because I think it's a very strong logo, and it does two things. It says liquid and it says marijuana, all without someone even thinking about it.
Man, so like I told you, I do everything in this company myself, and I didn't know anything about graphic designing, and I spent about 6 months literally doing online studies of graphic designing, doing Google courses and YouTube classes, doing everything I possibly could in my little downtime that I had. And I bought this little app for $4.99, and I sat there and designed it. And I probably spent like 2 days going over, no, that doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. And I just finally did it. And I did it, and I haven't looked back. I've had it up for like I think 4 years now, and I haven't. You know, I knew what I wanted, but it's hard to tell somebody what you want. Sometimes it's easier to create it yourself. And that was the problem I kept running into, was when I kept telling people what I wanted. It wasn't what I really wanted. Like they didn't really get what I was trying to do. You know, I have an intricate mind, and sometimes it's hard to let people into it and try to get them to what I'm seeing. So it's easier for me to do it myself. And I'm not good at graphic design. It took me some work. Like I'm that person who, you know, in elementary, I got a bad grade in art. Like I never got a bad grade in my entire life. Elementary, I got a bad grade in art. Like I didn't know how to stop it. I was bad. I was bad at art. Like I didn't know how to cure it. I didn't know how to get better at the class. So I just never took art since. But like I just never. Yeah, man. I wanted it to be a weed leaf, but you see, I tried to form it to make it look like a water droplet to a point. But like, you know, now I'm probably gonna recreate it in a few years. So I'm getting better at graphic design. I do all my own graphic design still. Like every flyer you see, I do that all myself. And so I'm getting better at it. So I think I'll give that one. I think I might give it 10 years. I think I might wait another 6 years and I'll drop a new logo. I think there's a lot of companies do every 10 years or so. Yeah, man, that was my first real artwork design that I put together, and I launched it. It led me to doing every single other piece of art that I do now.
Nice.
Well, so now you don't know. I've worked with you with LC and CC contracting. I don't know shit about art. Never liked art. Not my thing. I pay someone. I'm happy that when y'all want to do it. I always tell people, once you figure out what you want to go with, I'll market it and sell it. Like,
Yeah.
That's just me. I'm not an art.
Well, that's the common denominator. Now, like finally, after damn near a whole hour, we find a common denominator is that neither one of you are artists.
Don't like art. There it is. There it is. We will never.
You're the artist, Chanel. You're the graphic designer. Like I was just calling you. Say, I need this done, Chanel. How much is it going to charge? And whatever you come up, give me like 2 or 3 ideas, and we'll call it a day. I'm not. I've never been that guy when it comes to art. You're the artist. I definitely know that about you.
Yeah. I got a quick story for you. Okay, so my buddy had a birthday party, and they did like a wine and paint thing. And I looked around when we were done, and I literally balled my shit up and threw it away because I realized that I didn't paint anything what anybody else was painting. And it's like I never felt like it. Like I felt like I was like special. Like I was like, there's no way I drew this. I looked around like, oh my god, y'all drew that? Like, whoa, wait a minute. Ball this shit. No, I'm walking out. Give me the wine. I'll let you guys do the paint. Like, art is not for me.
That's funny. So going into closing, man, this is going to be pretty interesting. So usually at the end of my podcast, what I do is whoever I'm interviewing, in this case I'm interviewing both you guys, I want to give you an opportunity to become the co-host of the Boston Cage podcast. Do you guys have any questions that you would like to ask me?
Yeah, what cool marketing projects are you working on right now? I've always been striking because like he's like the marketing guru, goes to these cool shows. I've been to a couple of your events up in Alfred and Roswell area where you're doing your marketing. What are you working on? I always like to hear what you're working on.
So one thing that I started working on is kind of like I'm really big on like during my downtime, how can I monetize and keep my downtime still part of my business strategy, but make it my downtime. So recently I've just been doing like these sketches, these graffiti drawings from like back when I was a kid. So I would do these time lapse and then do a graffiti piece. And then I ended up doing 2 graffiti pieces, and I'm sitting down looking at them and I was like, what can I do with this shit? I'm just not gonna let it sit there. And I think a poster would be corny, so I ended up making shoes. So that's one of the shoes right there on that side. I'll grab it.
I know the code for the exclusive shoes now. Shit, that's dope.
So this is one of the
That's
sketches
dope.
I did, and then the other one is over there on that side. So that's one of the marketing things that I'm doing right now. Is just kind of like I'm always marketing products and merch without talking about merch. But when I did this, I was just like, dude, every time I do a piece of illustration or drawing in my downtime, I can convert it into a shoe, a bag, or whatever. So that's continuing my downtime and marketing at the same time. In addition to that, I'm working on my NFTs as well, getting ready to release a 10,000 NFT collection, and it's just kind of like the whole Boss and Cage thing, and it's going to be like an NFT visually art, but it's also going to be access keys to what I'm doing behind the scenes and helping people with their marketing and their development and their growth strategies as well.
Good. It's all good. Are you using OpenSea? Are you putting everything on OpenSea?
Yeah, OpenSea is like, it's kind of it's not the easiest platform per se, but it's the most universal platform. Like everyone hears about Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is not the only cryptocurrency in the world.
I was just wondering. I've been talking to a couple other people about NFTs, and like everybody's like, oh, we're just drop something and put a record on finance on OpenSea. I was like, okay, cool, okay.
Yeah. It becomes a household name, but I mean, obviously, OpenSea has competition as well.
Okay.
All right, man. What do you smoke?
Unfortunately, no. I had a stroke back in 2018, so the medication I'm on, it just conflicts with the THC, so I can't, unfortunately. But yeah.
Oh man, that was. I had like 10 more questions. I was going to rapid fire at you, but okay.
Well, you can shoot them. I mean, it's trust me, I could definitely answer it. So, what you got?
No, I just had some fun weed questions. That's it, man. Did you used to smoke?
I have. I'll give you the Clinton answer. I did.
Okay, you're gonna give me that Clinton Obama smoke.
I did inhale.
Correct. Okay, that's it. But honestly, man, I appreciate you bringing us on, man. By that time to hop on, this was dope. This was definitely dope. Do you know when this would be released?
So the release schedule is crazy. I mean, that's why I started doing these live. So right now, technically, it's live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, so forth and so forth. But the actual release of this episode on the actual podcast, audio only, it's probably going to be 12 months from now. Because like right now, this is episode 200 and something, and we only just released episode 111 this week. So we're about 100 plus episodes behind.
Well, send me the audio. Send me the audio so I can like monetize and throw it on our website.
Yeah, sure thing.
I'm all about trying to get as much digital tagging as much as possible.
Oh yeah. And like I said, you got the YouTube already too. So the YouTube, I think, like the video, just kind of.
No, so if I do it live on YouTube, it's going to convert all the way into a link.
Yeah, I mean, if you strip out the YouTube or you share the YouTube, then.
Oh, we're good. Okay, so
if you save that link and send it to me, I'll convert it.
Oh yeah, all right, I'll text you. Oh, awesome! I'm like I said, I'm excited. I actually want to look forward to doing some business with you in a second with Cannalean. Actually, I know you're like Chris. This is a master SEO tech dude, which I'm very happy. As you can tell, he has all the cool merch. He's really good at getting the really cool merch. I look forward. I will definitely talk about some more business with you going forward. Outside of this, because like I've always been a fan of your work, and yeah, this is good. I get to connect with Chris. Like Chris is like he's way more creative than me. Like he's a scientist, but he's way more creative than me.
He's a scientist that has synergy though. I mean, he's not just like the boring old school scientist. I mean, he definitely has style with it as well. So it kind of brings to what you're doing. So.
Oh yeah.
So I definitely appreciate you guys being on the show and taking out your busy schedule, man. I definitely, Chris, I wasn't expecting you. I'm happy that you showed up, man. Like I said earlier, I think like the dynamic aspect of this episode makes what we said so much more deliverable and so much more entertaining. So I definitely appreciate you being here today, man. I appreciate both you guys.
And we're happy to be here. I appreciate you, brother.
Y'all send me an updated not pitch deck, but where the hell you do work scope of work stuff. Send it to me. Send it my email so I can me and Chris can talk about it. I forgot you're really good at this shit.
Cool, man. Fair enough, man. I definitely appreciate you guys, man, and I look forward to seeing what you guys grow this company into being. And obviously, by all means, once you put it on the market and you sell it, I want to be there to see it happen for real. I want to see you guys sign that contract, man.
Oh man, we have you as a hype man. Come on, with the custom shoes, with the custom Cannalean shoes and the swag. We're going to swag out regardless of where we go now. Come on.
Yes, sir, man. S.A. Grant, over and out.